Fine. Now, close this activity monitor. So this is our terminal. So I know by using pwd that I am inside this directory. When I say directory, that means you can consider this as a folder. That means I'm currently inside. There's a like the users folder. Within that, there is a Neeraj Sharma folder, and within that, you are currently okay. Now, what all things that contains, right? What all things that contains? That is something you can know by using the command called ls list. Okay, if I type ls here, ls, and enter, it shows me these things. So it's basically telling me within the Neeraj Sharma folder we have these many other folders, which is application is one folder, downloads is another folder, OneDrive is there, chat, desktop is there, documents is there, music is there. All these items are there. Okay, clear? If I type ls, what do I get? Piyush, like mostly Windows, because I use Windows in my work, but Mac is like personally I use Mac. Okay. LS is like you're listing the all the things within that particular folder, and ls, if you do, you basically get what? All the things within that folder. So basically, a Dheeraj Sharma is having applications, downloads, OneDrive, pictures, public, movies, music, desktop list, and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Similarly, in Windows, if you go to the Windows, right, we have a command called dir. So in Mac we have ls, and in Windows we have dir, which is directory. Okay, so if I type that dir here and do an enter, so you see here these all are the directories. Within the Neeraj, we have something called desktop, documents, downloads folder. We have favorites, links, music, and all that stuff. Clear? Anyone has any doubt? And even Windows is giving a little more information, right? It is even telling you about the bytes. How many bytes do we have it there? All that other information is also being kept there. So once again, in Mac, to know the list of directories and the folders and everything in the current location, what do? We do ls, right? We do ls. In Windows, we type dir, which is directory. Two different command does the same thing on different operating systems. Okay, fine. Let's just clean the screen here. CLS I'll do on the Windows, and clear I'll type on my Mac. Okay. Now, what if I know? So I know. So there is a folder called. There was a folder called downloads, right? If I show it again, so there was a folder called downloads. What if I would like to get inside this downloads folder? What if I would like to get inside this download folder? Because currently, if I say pwd, so pwd, that means my current directory is actually Neeraj Sharma, right? I want to get into downloads folder. So basically, you are here. You want to move to the next folder. How do you do in your Windows? You double click and you get into it, right? Obviously, we don't have click and anything here. So for that, what we do, we type cd. Cd is change directory. Change directory to what? To downloads. Change directory to downloads. So if I do this and I enter, so now I'm inside downloads. Can you see here? It says downloads also. Now if I do the ls command, ls list the items. Now you see it's asking me for permission. Okay, now you see a lot of other things, a lot of things are coming here in the ls. When I did the ls here, it is showing me all the files which I have in the downloads folder. So I have a lot of files in there. So a lot of things are there which are coming in here, right? These burst type image and all that stuff is there. Okay, similarly, if I go to Windows, this is my Windows, right? This is the Neeraj folder. Within the Neeraj folder, let's first check dir, what all directories I have. So I do have downloads here also, right? So let's go inside that. To go inside that, we have cd downloads, cd downloads folder, and enter. So now I'm inside downloads folder. Can you see that? It says I'm inside downloads folder. Now once I'm inside download folders, I can do dir to know the directory content of it. Click on it and you see these are the items I have in the downloads, right? I have Firefox installer, I have front.jpg, I have some git and all that stuff, payment proof and all that stuff, and I can prove that point as well, right? If I come here, come through the GUI. If I come, if I normal Windows thing, if I use, click on the downloads, you see all that stuff is there, correct? This, I had this thing which you could see there, a payment proof and all that stuff. Even that we have it here, right? You see that payment proof, correct? All that. See BTech first year merge and all that, BT experience letter and all that stuff. All that information is there. Cool. Uh, what are you saying? Somebody has pinged anything? Let's go. Sorry. Mm, yes, Piyush, you can choose any folder. Instead folder, we can choose any folder. Yes, yes, yes. I just choose downloads. I just took it from the list, right? If you remember, acha, one more thing before doing that. Once you're inside a directory, what if you would like to get out of it? In the sense, you want to move back. So what happened? You were earlier inside Neeraj. From Neeraj, you went to downloads. Correct? Agree? Everyone? So we were inside Neeraj. We went to downloads. What if I would like to come back to Neeraj again? For that, what do you do? What do you do? Before doing this, cd slash question mark slash question mark enter. See what it says. Dot dot specifies that you want to change to the parent directory. Dot dot specifies that you want to change to the parent directory. That means you would like to go back to the parent directory. So can I do that? So that means if I do, if I do, if I do, sorry, if I do cd hyphen dot dot, that is what it's told me, right? If you would like to go back to the previous directory, that means the parent directory, you have to use dot dot. And if I do that, see, I came again inside what, Neeraj. And if I do dir here again, what do I see? All those directories. Now you want me to go inside what? Say if I would like to go inside uh say node modules. You see here node modules is there. Let's go inside node modules. So I'll just say cd node hyphen modules, okay, and enter. So now I'm inside node modules. dir, you see, in node modules we have these things, correct? Can we confirm that we have this thing here? Let's see. Is it hidden? That might be, no, it is not. One second. That was inside downloads. Oh, that must be deleted, I guess. Deleted in the sense must be in the delete. What do you say? In the recycling bin, even those things are being shown here. The recycling bin things are also being shown here. Let me just check. Yeah, you see here, the node modules are actually in the recycle bin. So normally, like in your GUI application, even though this folder, this downloads folder has node modules, but those are being deleted, moved to recycle bin, but are not being deleted yet. Okay, but are not being deleted yet. So those things are also coming here. Okay, so maybe let's go inside some other one. Let me just do cd dot dot again. Let's go inside LDI again. I'll do. Let's go inside. No. Again, no. I was wrong. I was wrong. Sorry. I was telling you about Neeraj folder, right? That is Neeraj folder, not this one. I have to go inside Neeraj folders. Within that, we have node modules. Sorry, node modules. So these are the files which we were talking about. Sorry. Let me just go again to cd node hyphen modules and enter and do the dir. So these are the files it is telling me, right? There is one file called package log.json. At the rate popper is a directory. When I say directory, it means it's a folder. And it says there is another directory called bootstrap. So essentially we have three things here, right? Can we see here? We have three things. So one is popper. Can you see popper? Popper is here. Bootstrap is there. And package log.json is also there. Correct? So essentially my CLI is also showing me the same stuff which my GUI is showing me, right? There is no difference. Again, if I would like to go back to the parent, what is the command I need to use? If I want to go back to the parent, What is the command I need to use? Can you guys tell me? No. Dot dot as in what? What is the entire command? Cd dot dot. Correct. So let's do that. Cd dot dot. And I'm again inside my current folder, whatever that was. Cool. Anyone has any doubt? Another way to verify whether you are inside that thing or not, you could do what? If I come to terminal, if I come to my terminal, which is this. So for example, I went to downloads folder. Can I check pwd? So it will tell me the current directory. Pwd gives me the current working directory. So I got that. If I say cd dot dot, I move back. Now if I check pwd, it is giving me Neeraj Sharma. I hope no one has any doubt about it. Anyone who has any doubt about it. Acha, one more thing about it. See, whenever you write any of the commands, right, they kind of get saved in a way. Okay, so basically, if you can use the arrow, like your in your keyboard, you have this arrow button, right, next to your enter. If I type the that also, what will happen? Whatever the commands I have written, whatever the commands I have written in the earlier, it will show me all those commands. So every time I'll click on it, I'll see cd. Okay, then this. These are all the commands which I wrote earlier. It is showing me all those commands. Whatever I have wrote, right? As long as I will keep on typing that, it will just keep on showing me the commands. Kind of a history, exactly. Okay. You remember the first command which I wrote, that was something like SD. And now when I'm pressing the arrow button again, nothing is happening because this is the top of the hierarchy. So there is nothing after this. So that's how it is. And one more thing, consider this thing, right? For example, dir, there are a lot of folders. For example, I would like to go inside node modules again. So I said cd. One thing is that I type the entire name node underscore modules. Other than that, what I can do, I can just type no and press tab. So you have tab key, right? Next to your, you have escape, then you have tilde key, and then you have a tab key. I could say third row, first key, which is tab key. So if I press tab, it will automatically show me the correct. So whatever is there with the no, it will show me that name. So if I press tab, automatically it took that name, node modules. Okay. What if we have two names? For example, if I'm doing say D, I just wrote D. Now with D, I have desktop, documents, and download. So if I press tab one time, it will show me desktop. If I press tab again, it will show me documents. If I tab again, it will show me downloads. Okay. So wait again, then it is repeating desktop, documents, downloads. Like that means which folder you would like to go. No, after tab key, nothing you have to do, Nikhil. Automatically, it will show you the name. So you don't need to write the entire name. Now, say if you want to go inside desktop, you can just simply go inside that. See if I'll come back again. Come here. Arrow key, this key you have to use. एक second बताता हूँ. For arrow, you have to use this key, right? You see here, I'll put a cursor here. I'll just remove everything. You see, if I press this guy, automatically things are changing, right? Any that means whatever the commands which I have wrote earlier, all those commands are coming. And say I want to write cd. I would like to say, for example, in this particular directory, Neeraj folder, right? I have desktop folder, I have documents, downloads. Now say, what if you don't want to write all that name, right? What you could say, you can say cd, just type D and just press tab. Automatically it will show you, okay, so there is a folder called desktop. Again, you press tab, it will show you documents. Again, you press tab, it will show you downloads because there are three folders with D, which are starting with D, right? Now, whichever folder you want to get in, you can just press enter and you will get into it, right? Otherwise, again, if you press tab, it will again show you desktop, documents, downloads. Okay? I think it's super simple. Anyone has any doubt? So basically, you can press tab to see the things. It will basically auto populate for you. You could think in that way. It will auto populate the things for you. Anyone has any doubt? Okay, now what if you would like to create a directory? So you remember that we were inside this Neeraj folder, right? This is the Neeraj folder, right? Neeraj folder. Now, what if you would like to create a directory? That means you would like to create a folder. A folder and directory are the same thing. directory and a folder are the same thing. Okay, when we used to work in DOS environment, we used to call it as directory, but when you work in a GUI thing, you call it as a folder. So folder and dir directory are kind of same thing. Okay, now what if in this Neeraj directory, that means Neeraj folder, I would like to create another one, another folder I would like to create. So I can say mkdir temp directory. So I would like to create, Anurag, if you're asking me to repeat, so let me know what exactly you want me to repeat. Okay, repeat it, so समझ में नहीं आएगा ना कि what you want me to repeat. So you say mkdir temp directory. I would like to go to the temp directory, and no, not I would like to create a temp directory. So I do an enter, and it says done. Okay, now if I show you here, if you guys want to see this, in this place there is one directory which is being created. Can you see? A temp directory has been created. A temp directory has been created, right? Can I see that here? Dir temp directory is there. Can I go inside this cd temp and press tab? Temp directory is coming. So Mukesh, if it is you're getting access denied, then maybe you have to run your these things. When you are running the CMD like this, right click on it and run as administrator. Do this, then you will not get the error. Okay, so by using mkdir, we are able to create the directory. Clear? And same thing we can use in our Mac as well. So even in your Mac, if you do that, you should be able to do that. Mantu, you are asking if you want to go to D drive. If you want to go to D drive, you have to do cd D drive and then colon. When you say D colon, that means it will put you into that drive. Okay, you see this thing. If you would like to change directly to that, or you can do like this slash D drive, like whatever the drive path you have, something like that also you could do. Do I have a directory here? Let me see if I have a D drive. I could show you otherwise. Like so, okay. So I have a D drive. So I'll just say cd D drive. Oh, sorry. D. So what is that command? cd. Hmm. Well, delete. So I'll tell you about delete folder as well. I will tell you about that also. How can I delete a folder, sir? How can I open file in CMD? See again, Mukesh, you cannot. So you can open a file from a CMD, okay, but it will open that file in a application. For example, if you are opening a file like a text file or something, that will open in your command prompt. So then there is other one actually. You have an editor like a Vim editor, which I showed you in the previous session, but most of the times we don't use that. Okay, so that's the thing. Here, anyone has any doubt? Anyone, any questions? No. Okay. What I was doing, so we were doing something. Wait a minute. Clear this. Sorry. CLS. So you, that's the problem. If you work with Mac and a different operating system, sometimes you'll write one command here, another command there. So that's the problem. What I was saying, huh? So if you would like to go to say D drive, right? Any drive you would like to go. So you can say D and colon. So this will basically move you to the D drive. So now you are inside the D drive, right? So if I do dir, so it is telling me these are the things within my D drive, right? I can confirm that behavior also. Come here and see here, right? These are the two things which we have, correct? So that's how it is. Cool, everyone. And in Mac, you don't have multiple drives as such. I mean, you have physical drives, but again, there also you can do that. Cool. I hope everyone is clear till here. Okay. Now we have created a directory. हाँ हाँ कर रहे हैं आशीष will Ashish I guess. Mukesh is showing access again. It is showing access denied. Mukesh, when you are running it as administrator, can you repeat how to create a folder? Adish, to create a folder, you say mkdir make a directory, and the directory name. So I'll say temp and do an enter. So this will create a temporary directory. You see a temp folder got created. Or see if I say mkdir Neeraj, so it will create a Neeraj folder here. No, so it should work then. It should work. I don't know why it is not working. Mukesh is saying it's showing access is denied. So maybe so if you're able to run it as administrator, it should not come. Either you are not administrator of the application, but again, if you're able to run it as administrator, that means you are administrator. It must, otherwise it must have asked a password. Adish is saying it's not working. Is it working for anybody else? Can you guys just try to do it? I don't know if these people are having. Is it just for Adish or Mukesh? Atish is working for you, right? For Ashwar, it is working. Rajneesh also it is working. Saptarshi is also working. I guess some issue with your system. Maybe just restart that. Huh? So run as administrator should work, man. I don't. Can you see that's on the top? Does it say administrator? If it does say administrator, that means it should work. I don't think it will cause any problem. Huh? Maybe Mukesh, after this class, restart your system and see if that works. But there is nothing separate thing. So most likely you are not having access to do that for some reason. I don't know why that might be, but it should not be the case because if you're running as administrator, you should be able to run that. Okay. Now, what if you have created the directory? So I could see the directory being created, like temp and Neeraj directories are there. What if now you would like to delete that? You would like to delete it. So then you can use the command called rm. Rm as remove. Okay, you would like to remove that. Then you say now one thing slash question mark. Sorry, rm is not a command in your what is that in your windows. In windows you must be having a different command. I guess the command for windows is delete. Delete, or it's, I guess, rm directory maybe. Let me just check. Rmdir, I guess it is. Rmdir it is. Rm is in your Mac. RMDIR is correct. RM without space, Pooja. Without space. Make sure you remember that. Like sometimes it can cause issues. Okay, so in it tells you to remove. See what it says. Two things. Removes all. Say if I give slash s, it is telling me. If I give slash s, see it says remove directory slash s slash q and the path where you want to delete it. RD slash s slash q drive path. What does slash s do? Removes all directories and files in the specified directory in addition to the directory itself used used to remove a directory tree. That means if I use rmdir slash s, what it will do, it will delete the directory. It will also delete all the files within it, obviously, right? It will delete all that thing also, and it will ask you as well whether you want to do it or not. No, Nimai, I haven't seen your comments if you have put it on the question answer section, so I haven't seen the question answer sections yet. I'll look into it. Once I'll see that, I'll do that. I'm not able to go back from my drive. So again, you have to go to that drive, Bhupender. C drive you have to go. If you must have come to D drive or somewhere else, then that could be the case. So if you guys have put anything on the question answer section, don't worry, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just completing the topic first, then I'll get into it. Okay, so what I was telling you, if you do this slash, okay, let's try to do this. I would like to say rmdir, okay, slash s. What do I, so slash s, I would like to remove Neeraj. Now it is asking me, do you want to or not? Yes or no, right? Can you see? Are you sure? Then I say yes, and then do enter. Then it will remove it. See, it is removed. Now, what if I don't want that option? Say I am 100% sure I want to remove it, right? Then I can do this. Instead of using slash s, I can say q and enter. Oh, sorry. So it says it cannot find that, obviously, because we have deleted it. Let's delete the temp. And see, this time it did not even ask me anything. And if I come here, the directory is removed. Clear? So we were able to remove the directory. Anyone has any doubt? Not. Okay, cool. Similarly, we have a lot more other commands. For example, we can also, if you would like to, one obviously you could come here and close hit here, or you can maybe type this. That will also work. If I type exit and enter, automatically my command prompt will close. So again, if I'll open CMD command prompt, you see it here. If I type exit, automatically it got closed. So that is also what you can do. So you would like to exit from it. So that is something you can do. Let's come up here again. Go to my D drive and double click on it. Okay, here. It is coming a little small. Hmm. थोड़ी font बढ़ा देते हैं. Just a little more, I guess. Should be good. Okay. So exit it does that. Okay. Now, what if you would like to copy a file? Okay, from one location to another location. In that case, let's say I have a folder in here, new folder, and then I have another folder, say a new folder too. Okay, and I have a file here. I just created one file. I'll just call it as 2.txt. है ना? Simple file है. So new folder has 2.txt. New folder 2 doesn't have any file. Whatever I would like to copy that file from new folder. Where is it? Yeah, let's call it as not new folder. Let's change the name to new. I'll just call it as a new, and another one is a new folder. Okay, from new folder we want to copy a file to new. Okay, now what do? We have a command called copy, copy, copy slash question mark. It will tell me if you would like to know more because it has more switches. Okay, so take it out. What I'm going to be doing is cls copy. Okay, now I have to tell the path from where I have to copy the copy it, right? So the path is d slash new folder slash uh, 2.txt. That means I would like to copy it from here and I would like to paste it in slash dot new. This is the place I would like to paste it, and the file name which I would like to have is 1.txt. Okay, I would like to copy 2.txt and I would like to rename that file to 1.txt when it gets copied to my new folder. Do an enter. Syntax or command is incorrect. Let's see. B. Okay, so what it says, so basically because I'm using the space in between, so it is having the problem. So you have to use these double quotes if you have these spaces in between. So you have to use double quotes, double quotes. So what did I say? Move 2.txt to 1.txt. Now see here, in new folder, we have 1.txt, right? Now you must be thinking this might not be the same file. You may think like that. Let's do this then. Come here, create a new file. I'll call it as first.txt, and I'll just type this first txt file in inside new folder. Okay, this is the file which I have created, correct? Now I would like to, and the new folder does not have it, right? Now what I want to do is I would like to move first.txt, not move, I would like to copy, sorry, to, and the name I would like to give it is, I would like to give the name as second.txt and enter. Now do you see you have that second.txt here, which is just a rename of that file. However, the content is exactly the same. First txt file inside new folder. So basically what I did, I just copied the file. No, so Piyush, you're absolutely right. You must be thinking, why are we doing this, right? The idea is first to tell you, obviously, you will not be doing this thing in your day-to-day development work. You will not be doing this cd. Obviously cd you will be using a lot, cd you'll be doing, but obviously you will not be copying like this and other stuff. The idea is to let you know that through command line you can actually do all that stuff. Okay, that is the main idea. I understand. Even I had this thing when I was in college, right? Even I was wondering why we are doing it. But again, a lot of things. For example, this copy and all. What if you would like to write? What if? Acha, I'll tell you one thing. For example, let's think this way. Why you want to do this thing? Consider. Let's delete this second.txt again. Okay. Now, if I ask you to copy this file again, what you will be doing? You will be coming here inside the new folder. You'll copy this file and you'll move it here. Correct? That is exactly what you will be doing. I can do something different. Okay, do this. I'm basically giving you the possibilities which are possible. That is the idea here. Let's create a new file. Just think that I'm creating a new file. Just not think, I'm showing you that I'm creating a new file. Let's say I'm creating a new file. Okay, and I'll just call it as command command dot bat. A bat file is a batch file which can contains the command inside it. Dot bat. Okay. Now this within this, what I'm going to be doing is within this file, what I'm going to be doing is I will edit this file. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be writing some thing inside this. I'll basically copy this code. Now, obviously, when also one more thing, if you need to copy anything which is on the command prompt, what you need to do, you have to first select everything and then press enter. It will copy that. Okay. Now that entire thing I'm going to be putting it here. Okay. This is what I did. And now what I'll do, I will save this thing. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm saying, right now, new folder has first.txt. This new does not have it. This new does not have it. Now I will not be running any command, but I'll be running something called command.bat batch file and enter. Okay, that's all what I did. And if I come here, you see new folder has second.txt now. So what can happen? You can write script like this, right? You can write a file with all the commands and you can automate your work. This is just one example of copying a file, but like that you could have a big scenario, right? You could have a scenario like copy file from this location to that location, do all that stuff, and then do this and do that and all that stuff. All that thing you can write in a command. All that command you can write and execute in one click. You just put it here and enter that command. If the same thing you have to do through the GUI, what you need to do every time, go inside the folder, copy the file, paste. Okay, I mean, this is just one small scenario I have given you. Correct? Now, Saptarshi, are you guys with me till here? Does it make sense to learn this command line or not? Sandeep, who had asked this? Piyush, clear? So this is just small example I'm giving, right? That is how you can do automation, right? That is why the developer use more command line things, because you can do automation through that. Okay. Fine. So this is all what we have learned so far. Now the question comes, which is about which Piyush has asked, right? Piyush had asked earlier. He was talking like why we are using this thing, why we are using command line, how it's going to be helping us in our development, right? Again, the same thing. One thing which I just showed you, correct, Piyush? That means you can write scripts for your code and that can execute, right? You can just simply you can write a file, put all that command in that, execute that file, and that file, because all the commands are there, it will automatically do all that stuff for you. That means you don't need to do it. So one way is that you can automate things. That is one. Now, how will it help you in your development? Again, there are a lot of things. For example, node. You see node. If I type node and enter, so what has happened is in your CLI. So basically, first thing you have this DOS, which is itself is a CLI. DOS is a CLI. On DOS, there is a another CLI. So you have one CLI which is DOS, which is the main operating system. You're running the code and all. On top of it, there are other programs which you can run. For example, Node is one program which you could run, right? Node is one program. Then similarly, you have a lot of other applications of the React which you could use. So we will be using those applications to create our project. Okay, maybe just to give you some idea, if you guys would like to see that. Uh, I don't know if you will understand it or not, but let's try to do it. I'll just say npx. Maybe you are not able to understand it. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, npx create hyphen React app. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Create hyphen React app demo. I just said this thing. Okay, I just wrote one command. Okay, Within D folder, I said npx create React app demo. Now see, something is happening. Okay. No, no, I'm creating an app by using a CLI. There is a tool which, see, automatically a folder got created demo. Within that demo folder, automatically some files are getting downloaded and getting entered. How all those things are happening? It is not all magic. It is all because there is a tool, there is a CLI tool which somebody has created, and you just have to write a command and do all that stuff. Now it is super simple, just writing this one command, npx create React app. So in your work development and all, you will be using this CLI a lot for that reason. Okay. Anyone has any doubt? Rohit, if you want to leave, I guess you can leave. I don't have any problem as such, but there are small things which are left, hardly 5 or 10 more minutes. Again, anybody has any doubt before I get into the question and answer thing? Now I'm seeing the question and answer. So whoever has asked anything on the question and answer, what is more important to know, Windows or Mac? Tanvi, shouldn't be much of an issue. Even if you knows if you even if you know Windows, that should be okay, because in most cases we will be using, there are very handful of commands which we will be using, and those essentially will work in your Windows and Mac also. But if you are asking only one, if you need to know, then you might want to work on the Mac one, because those are the one which are being used more. That means the people who ask you the commands and all, they'll be asking you more of the Linux commands, so that essentially works in your Mac OS. So I hope I have answered this question. So Piyush, I have told you about why the CLI, how it's going to be working in our project. Ashi said something repeat. I don't know why he said that in the question answer. Okay, Adish is asking, in previous lecture I got all things, but when I headed to the quiz, I got some different questions. So it will remain same for other quizzes also. It could be, but what is that question? Let's see. You can, Adish. So what you can do, right? You can, whatever the new questions which you might be getting, right? First thing in the session, if you remember, if you joined this session today, I asked you if you guys have any doubt and something, so you could tell me ki, Neeraj, you did not cover this part in the quiz. Okay, so I could tell you that thing, that there could be something, right? Quiz may have some extra information, so I could answer that thing then. How to see list of files, Shiv, I have answered that. How can I create a directory, Anurag, I have answered that. Atish has asked, when we type code in CMD, then VS Code is open, how this command works. Acha, that can also happen. So for example, so what has happened, right? You have this command called code. Okay, this is a command which is where Visual Studio Code has given, and when you say code dot, dot means current directory, right now this place, dot, and I say enter. So what it does, it automatically opens a VS Code. It opens a VS Code. It is similar to this. If I type notepad and I say enter, it opens the notepad right now. See, it will open a notepad for me. You see here. So basically what I'm doing, I'm, see, what is notepad? Notepad is a program, correct? Visual Studio is a program. So I can execute a program from here, right? I'm opening a program from my VS Code. So that is also I can, sorry, from my command prompt. That is also what I can do. Atish, I hope I have answered this question. If not, put it on the chat. I'll answer it again. If you have any doubt on that. I'm not looking at the chat right now. Anurag is saying, I did not get it at all. Like, what you did not get it, Anurag? Like, nothing you understood. What is the question? I mean, I don't know, man. Tell me what the question is so that I can answer. I guess it will be used for React server, opening server. Huh, there also it is being used internally, Piyush. CMD is used in programming language. Directly we will not, but we can use, Ashutosh, we can use command prompt to execute any of the programs and other things. To execute all that stuff, we use that. Okay. Now, what if you would like to know the more commands, right? So you have this site. I could show you that. But again, do you need to memorize all that stuff now? Most likely, no. Okay, you don't need to memorize that. But again, you can see these commands for your reference. So this is the site, right? You can reacts and command. हाँ, तो बताता हूँ अभी एक second. So you can just click on say Mac OS if you would like to know. So in your CMD, if you click, so these are a lot of commands. Again, see, a lot of commands are there. Not that you have to remember each and every command, right? As you work, right, you understand a lot of commands. See, I can tell you one more command. See, ns lookup. What it does, it will basically look up the You remember I told you that we have this website address and they have associated IP address for it. You can find that thing from it. So if I say google.com and I say enter, it is telling me this is the IP address for you, for your what? For your google.com. Now if I use this IP address and I put it here and enter and I say advanced, go this, see what it did. It basically redirected me to google.com, right? A lot of commands are there, right? You can use these commands. So a lot of commands are there, but again, don't try to memorize these commands. Just use, maybe just have a look at it, right? That's how it's going to be helping you. And the most commonly used commands, that is something you can see in your material. These are the commands which are mostly being used, right? So you could just see these commands, what these commands are, and they have told you like how does it work in Mac and Linux thing. Okay. Now coming to your question, Anurag. So what I was telling you right here, so because Piyush had asked this question, let me, where is that? Huh? Piyush had asked this question that how it's gonna be like, how this CLI will help us. So what I was telling you, that this is a bit advanced thing for you right now, but I was just giving you an example that we have a lot of command line tools. That means we have a lot of commands which we can use to create a lot of things for us. For example, there is a small command like this, npx create react app demo, right? This is a command which I used, but how does it work internally? We haven't talked about it yet. I was just telling you one use case. So if I open this, if I run this command, so what this command did, it created a project for me. This demo project, this entire project, it has created for me. I did not have to create this node modules folder, public folder, src folder. All that thing this command did internally for me, right? So it is just a use case of the command. Why we are learning command line? In that case, I told that. Clear, Anurag, or is it still? Are you still confused? Okay. Okay. Now in VS Code, again, in VS Code also we can do that, right? For example, you see here, this is my VS Code, right? In VS Code also, I can run the commands. Now the question which somebody has asked about PowerShell and command prompt. So if I come to terminal, say new terminal, this will open a terminal. Now terminal is nothing but a place where I can write the commands. Okay, and those commands will get executed similar to what you have command prompt. Now when we open a terminal in VS Code, we have two options. If you see here, there is PowerShell and there is a plus sign, right? And a arrow. If I click on arrow, it tells me what other things I can open. I can open a command prompt also. If I click on command prompt, it will open a command prompt. So this is a command prompt and this is a PowerShell. Now what is PowerShell? The commands are little different in PowerShell sometimes. For example, in CMD, I did dir, right? If I type ls, I'm getting not recognized. In PowerShell, if I type dir, it is working. If I type ls, that is also working, right? So PowerShell has more advanced commands compared to your VS Code, one thing. And in your PowerShell, there are a lot more other things you can do. Okay, so there are PowerShell script which you can write, which is a bit advanced. Okay, so that is not something we'll be covering here. But again, PowerShell can do a lot more things what your command prompt cannot. Okay, Tanvi plus minus. What does that mean? You are asking me to increase the font, Tanvi? Or you are saying what are the positive and negative of command prompt and PowerShell? Not sure. Again, I'm not Bageshwar wala Baba, so you have to be a little more descriptive, like when you are saying things. Mm, 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 mm. Acha, acha, mistakenly. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, guys, anybody has any questions? So we are kind of done with today's session, right? Now, if somebody like if I talk about the question and answer section, okay, let me do one thing. Before doing this, one sec, huh?